I'm the area head of photography, and I'm just going to gush a little bit about our outstanding graduate, April McPherson. So I believe it was Henry David Thoreau who said, "It's not what you look at, but what you see." And throughout her time here at SUU, April has shown us her unique vision time and time again. From her dynamic, in-depth environmental portraits to her exploration of home, she has created not only exceptional formal qualities, but also a rich narrative that shows in her work, and also is demonstrated in her numerous accomplishments. In the last year, she has been accepted into many jury exhibitions, most notably the Darkroom Gallery and the Photo Place Gallery, but additionally, she was selected in the Photographer's Forum Best of Photography Spring of 2014, as well as winning an honorable mention in the Photographer's Forum Best of College Photography 2015. So it is my absolute pleasure to recognize April McPherson as the outstanding graduate for photography. This is so weird. Okay. So I'm going to start off just really briefly, just to let you guys know what I've prepared. I think tonight's a little bit different. I enjoy, sharing my work with everybody, and I'm sure some of you have been seeing it. But I kind of wanted to take everybody on my own journey that I've been on for 2 years here. So let me just start by saying the last couple of years that I've been here have honestly been just liberating and crazy. It just began when I kind of finally made the decision to push myself, move forward, and create change. It's quickly growing tired of Southern California, my home state. Only home I've ever known, but after so long, I just felt like I really wasn't going here. I spent the prior 5 to 6 years feeling like I was kind of just wandering, falling into the daily grind of a 9-to-5 job, seeing the same things day in and day out. And I guess I was kind of just hoping that I would find my place or that something would come about. And when it boiled down to it, I kind of felt like I was hoping that something was just going to come from nothing. That it was going to, something was going to happen. But let's be realistic. I knew that wasn't going to happen. So if I knew that I wanted something, I knew I was going to be the one to have to create it. So I'm a first-generation college student with a little background information. The baby of 5, and the daughter to 2 endlessly hardworking parents. And although higher education was never discussed in my family, I knew, not so much early on, but probably within the last maybe 5 or 6 years as well, that it was something of interest to me that I wanted to pursue as well. So I did a little bit of research on this area. I visited campus once and made a decision. So it began. My life was in complete chaos, and everything was packed up in boxes. I packed up my Subaru, and all that really stood before me in my new life here was 400 miles across the California-Nevada desert. I never left home before, and all of my family actually remains pretty close there still. I'm the only one to ever really leave and kind of go off. So that's been interesting. I've always been really close to them and always had that support, so coming here was definitely difficult. I will definitely always remember the day that I left, for I'm pretty sure that today it's the only time I've seen my dad cry. It was winter, it was the end of December, it's cold. It was even colder here when we got here. And it was an interesting trip, but as much as goodbyes are difficult, I knew this wasn't going to be any exception. But at the same time, it wasn't really goodbye because I kind of felt like it was the start of my life, and I was going to create something for me finally. So my head and heart, for once, I think, felt aligned. And I knew that this was the best decision I had made in my 24 years of living so far. So, to be honest, I would say that my adjustment here in Utah was very difficult. However, I've never felt so content, but out of place at the same time. I was completely alone and no one around me,
but I had a complete sense of freedom that I never really had before otherwise. And on top of that, I was completely scared out of my mind. So all those emotions at once, quite interesting. So I did manage, however, to find comfort in one thing specifically, and that was the open road and the outdoors. So I would go off on the weekends and hike, find trails to run, cook over an open campfire, stargaze, and it was awesome. So all I knew that when I would go off on the weekends, that made me completely content. And it was kind of perfect. I was able to do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, and I quickly came to really love this life that I was living. Now, a little bit of background on my work, or at least what I've done. Since I've been here, we're kind of fast forwarding, I guess, to some thesis work. I feel I've definitely created quite a collection of work. It's been weird, I've never really been pushed to do that, so it's been awesome. But my thesis project for me has definitely been the most extensive, rewarding, and challenging. It's a body of work that I created over the course of my entire 2.5 years here. It was shot with a simple plastic $20 toy camera. And I chose the shot in color, which is kind of a different thing, but absolutely love the results. And they're all shot in camera, not edited, no Photoshop, fun work, or anything like that. So for me, each image is kind of a story. And each image has its own story. And these are stories that I consciously chose to stick myself in the middle of. And in a way, I kind of feel like I became a part of those stories. Now, as you may have noticed, my choice of places that seem kind of abandoned, lost, forgotten, perhaps it's kind of a connection with another personal journey. So, now here I am. I'm going on 27 years young, nearing an end that initially felt endlessly away, but I can't tell you how eager I am to go on to this new beginning. I do have goals and I have plans, but to be honest, I have no idea where I'm going. And oddly enough, I'm kind of content with that. So, in closing, I'll just say that to stand here tonight is really just surreal for me. Definitely the last person to think I would graduate from college, be fully supporting myself, and mostly just being comfortable with being alone. So, throughout my time here, I've definitely forced myself to be outgoing, go way out of my comfort zone, but honestly, that's been really great. So, leaving here is very bittersweet. And I guess all I can really say is the education has been absolutely remarkable. But for me personally more so, the relationships that I've created and the people that I've met, those are things that I won't ever forget. And those are the things that to me are priceless. So you all know who you are. And even after we all walk out of here, and those of you that I am walking with here in 5 weeks, which is crazy, and those of you who are not, we'll always be in touch because you guys are really what's made this last 2.5 years what it's been for me. So thank you guys.